Hi guys, and welcome to the Weekend Roundup show. Of course, you're back with myself and Pippa. Pippa is very happy today.
It's good to see you, man.
It's always a pleasure to see you.
I was looking for you all weekend.
I had a busy weekend. Yeah. Very busy weekend outside of North London, so I didn't have to watch any of that yesterday.
I wouldn't want you to.
I was very happy to be. I've never been so happy to not be in North London on game day, I have to say.
You should have been there. It was a buzzing atmosphere. It was electric.
Do you know what? I have to say, I never heard the Emirates so loud on the way home.
You didn't hear it. Don't mock us.
I did hear it. Listen, I was driving yesterday. I had a birthday in the Cotswolds, so unfortunately I didn't get to go to the game. I say unfortunately. Fortunately, I didn't get to go to the game.
Half the fan base left the away fans.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
At half time.
I would have. 100%. I'd have been straight out there, back down the pub. So I didn't get to watch the game live, but I had some people in the car with me who were very vocal about what was going on, and I heard too many words used on the way home.
Damn.
Too many times. But look, you can gloat all you want. I totally understand it. You've come fully dressed.
It's not a gloating thing. I'm just happy because so many weeks I've had to sit on this sofa, settee, couch, whatever you call it, and just be miserable.
I know.
Massive loss to City, a loss to Chelsea, while you're gloating with your 3 wins on the bounce, top of the league, while we were bottom, and it's just changed so quickly.
It's changed, and there we are. We're now neck and neck on everything. Goal difference, points.
We're above you though.
You are above us. You are above us, but it's okay. Do you know what? We roll with it. Spurs fans will know how painful it is at the moment in general to be a Spurs fan. So I think we just all need to strap in for what's going to be a very long season. But anyway, let's start with actually the best game of the weekend.
No.
It wasn't our game.
No.
It was Brentford 3, Liverpool 3.
What a game.
What a game.
Do you know what's funny? I actually wasn't going to watch that because I was busy. I wasn't going to watch that game.
Yeah.
And then as I was doing stuff around the house, I got the notification that Brentford went 1-0 up.
You're like, hang on, I need to turn the TV on.
I went straight to the living room and I was like, listen, everyone out. Turn it over, whatever you're watching, and I put the game on, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be a decent game. 1-0 up.
I know. 1-0 up. And to be fair, I think I know obviously you lost to Brentford.
Yeah.
And I think that we kind of saw what Brentford were about early on this season, but it's rare that you get a promoted side come up and literally still look, even if they're not winning, they still look good.
Yeah.
And they still look like they're giving it everything every single week in comparison to other teams that have come up, maybe don't do the same. But they are a good side, aren't they?
They are starting to look the real deal.
Yeah.
When you do it against teams like, we don't even have to talk about the Arsenal game. That was a big surprise to everyone, even though it was the fairy tale beginning of the league to begin the season.
A massive confidence
Everyone kind of
for
thought, oh, Brentford could do it. They did it. But to do it against Liverpool to get a draw.
Yeah.
And they haven't lost a game yet. So the way that they're performing, they are showing that they are the real deal. Everyone raved about Ivan Toney last season in the Championship.
He's a good player.
And I think some people question, because even I, ask anyone on AFTV, I was like, we need to get Ivan Toney at Arsenal. We need that striker.
Ivan Toney said exactly that. You need him.
But everyone was like, yeah, he might not be Premier League ready. He won't be able to do it in the league. He's showing up. He hasn't scored as many goals as people may expect of him yet, like he did in the Championship, but it's early on in the season and they've got a really good squad there that can, battle for a mid-table position, or you never know.
You never know.
You never know. Leicester, they could do mad things.
I think the league is so, I know obviously it's very early days, we're on week 6, but the league is so open nowadays, not in terms of the title race, actually it is very open for the first time in years now. But the kind of, we'll touch on it later, Brighton could go top actually tonight. But I think the fact that, teams from, anywhere like 5th down, it's kind of just, everyone's of a similar kind of level. There is no kind of like, top 4, then next bracket and things like that. Everyone is also competing like kind of at a similar level, which is really, really good and makes it so open. Got a stat for you here, one of many stats.
Go on.
Liverpool conceded 3+ goals in a Premier League away game against a newly promoted side since January 2016 against Norwich. So that's a good stat.
I remember that game actually.
I mean, the thing is, it was like Brentford had this like never say die attitude, I feel like, and obviously going 1-0 up, great, but you saw Liverpool then come back with Jota and then Salah and whatever. So it kind of was like you thought, oh, well, are they going to have it in their locker to pull it back each and every time? But they did.
I felt that they did. That's why I was so engaged with the game, because even though Salah got that goal and then obviously Liverpool got back and got a lead, I was like, Brentford's got something here, because they were playing good football, and I was like, I felt sorry for Pinnock that he had to come off. But the other young player that come on, I can't remember his name, but who scored the winner? No, he didn't score the winner. That was Iyesa?
The
one that scored that banger in the Carabao Cup. I'll learn these Brentford players' names. I will. Witsa. Wisa.
You're looking at me like
no,
I know.
think it's Wisa. They'll correct me in the comments.
They will correct you in the comments.
But there was another defender that came on. I was thinking this is pressure now because Pinnock scored that opening goal, which was shocking defending from Liverpool. To be honest, it just went past everyone, and he got his foot on it, his toe on it, pretty much. Yeah. For him to come off in such an important game for him, you can see that he didn't want to because he sat down, got checked, got back up, carried on. But about 5-10 minutes later, he said, "Do you know what? I have to come off."
Yeah, but do you know what? It's that determination that he wanted to play on.
Yeah, because you're 1-0 up and then they've equalised, but you're still in the game.
Yeah.
You're still in the game.
Absolutely. He cleared it off the line, didn't he? Is that who you're talking about? Mohamed Salah scored 100 goals now, finally part of the Centurion club in 151 Premier League games for Liverpool. That is quite an achievement.
Yeah, it's a massive achievement.
Isn't it? Anyone that joins the 100 club, it's a massive achievement. So I think it's one of those things where obviously I think he's in his final year of the contract, or I think something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, if it's the final year or coming into it. But it's one of those things where do you pay the money if you're Liverpool and give him what he wants so he can stay?
Why not? He's got it in his locker. I remember a few weeks ago I said he's aging. He's not aging. Obviously, he's just one of the older players in the league.
Senior member of that
senior
squad
player.
now,
That's the correct terminology, not an aging player.
Aging.
If he's still got it, why not? But let's not make it into a Harry Kane saga. Do you know what I mean? Not to bring it up, but like, let's not. If you're going to keep him and if he wants to stay,
I think
make it a good deal for everyone.
He wants an extortionate amount of money. I think that it was something like 350 or 400 grand a week. Do you think that is substantial? Like, do you think he's got a right to say that?
350 grand a week?
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong person if that's substantial. It's a lot of money for anyone. No, but for a player like Mo Salah, what he's done for Liverpool. Yeah.
Do you think he warrants it? Was the word I was actually looking for.
It's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
But if that's the type of fees and wages that Liverpool are willing to pay, then why not?
But is it a case that Kylian Mbappe is going to be a free agent very, very soon? But I know we think he's going to go to Madrid. I think that's pretty much a cert. But
even if it's not Madrid, if it's a Premier League team, I don't think it will be Liverpool.
Yeah, you don't think it would be. Who do you think he would be going to though? Chelsea are kind of all set.
They're all set, but things change quickly.
Would you look at Manchester City?
It could be a City, it could be a Chelsea, it could be a United, but I just don't think it will be a Liverpool.
There's just been links, hasn't there? Yeah. I don't know whether or not that's just Liverpool fans getting excited.
Could be Aston Villa. No, I'm joking.
the way they're playing at the moment. Can we just talk about Curtis Jones's goal for a sec? Because
what a goal!
What a goal that was!
And I bet he thought he sealed the deal. Do you know what the maddest thing was? He scored that banger, and whilst we were watching the replay, as it comes back to the game, he's been subbed. He's walking around to get subbed off. He got subbed off straight away. I know. But I think the substitution was about to happen before he scored that goal. But it's a great way to end your
We just needed to put that out there. What a goal. Yeah. But I think all credit to Brentford, because if they keep playing like that, I mean, I think it's, I know it's still early days, but they're not looking to go down anytime soon, which is a great thing. Yeah. Moving on to going to be your favourite topic.
What is it?
Arsenal 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1. I'll let you take the reins on this one.
What do you mean?
I'll let you just get it all off your chest.
Let's talk about the game. Let me get comfortable. Let's talk about the game.
Okay. Let's talk about the game. I think that Aaron Ramsdale was fantastic.
Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go.
She wants to talk about the game, and this
everywhere they go.
This is what I'm dealing with here.
So
this is what I'm dealing with. Let's talk about the game,
9
shall we?
9 goals conceded in just 3 games. What's going wrong for Tottenham?
Well, I was talking about Arsenal.
I mean, let's start with what's going wrong for Tottenham.
Right, I'll tell you what's going on for Tottenham.
I've had to get that out of my system.
As you are so nice, I'm glad you got it off your chest.
Yeah.
What's going on for Tottenham? Well, I think the problem is, yes, obviously we were top of the league, and I fully enjoyed being top as I knew it would never last, and enjoyed it while I could.
Did you think it wasn't going to last?
Yes. Okay. I openly said many a times it is not going to last. Look, opening day we played very well against Manchester City, but we weren't very convincing against Wolves, we weren't convincing against Watford, and obviously we haven't won a game since then. I guess you can count the Carabao Cup on penalties, but I think that would also be kind. I think the problem is, I have nothing against Nuno, I like Nuno, but I think he's not probably the right manager. I think that when you have someone like Jose Mourinho, who is also defensive minded, and you say that he's too outdated, even though he's, calibers above Nuno in terms of managerial quality, when you bring in someone like Nuno, who is kind of like a lesser version of Mourinho in the way he thinks, and I haven't seen anything to point me in any direction that Nuno is a tactically astute manager. And I just think that that's another problem. I think the squad is a big issue as well. When you see Harry Kane and Heung-min-Son not really creating any chances, they even managed to do so under Jose, even in all that defensive mindedness. I think that it shows you there's a very big problem when they can't do it under Nuno. I think there's a big lack of creativity in that midfield. I don't understand how Dele Alli is getting in that team. What is Giovanni Lo Celso not doing in training that is keeping him not even as a question in that team? He's not even getting into the squad. You bring in summer signings in Romero, Emerson Royale, and they're not.
Emerson Royale featured though.
He came on for the wrong person. Tanganga should never have come off.
Yeah, that was a bit concerned about that.
A strange substitution.
Well, not concerned. I mean, I was just like, okay.
I think that when you make
should
those
Dele Alli have come off?
Yes, 100%. It was terrible. When I actually would have taken majority of the players off and just done like rush goalie at that point.
Just forfeit the game.
Yeah,
but no, I've heard Spurs fans say that Nuno is literally just Jose Mourinho.
He is. He's a less. Look, the thing, like I said, you can argue that Jose is at least won things in his time, and people won't always like Jose Mourinho, but you can't question certain things he does because he's Jose Mourinho. But I think that when you bring in Nuno, I think he's just a bit out of his depth. I think that there's no cohesion between the squad, the manager, the players, the board. Like, I just don't think there's a lot going on. But
I will defend Nuno a little bit.
Yeah.
Because although he did get it wrong yesterday, obviously Arsenal played great, especially in the first half.
Arsenal were fantastic.
I still think in the second half he got it right. Because the substitutions he's made, even though you don't think Tanganga was correct, him bringing Oliver Skipp, is it Oliver Skipp?
Yeah, but Oliver Skipp should have started.
When he came into that midfield for Tottenham, it changed the game.
Yeah, but
because we won the game in the midfield in that first half.
Yeah, but Oliver Skipp should have started, and I guarantee you, every Spurs fan will say, Tanganga's another one. Tanganga shouldn't have come off. He was not the worst person in that back line for a start. And also, him and Oliver Skipp are two of the only people that have come through the ranks at Spurs and know what that game's about. And I think that's my biggest problem with Spurs.
That's the important thing of it, because same with Saka and Smith Rowe, they know what the NLD means, about. And that's why they performed on that day.
Pillar to post yesterday, did not know what way he was coming. Davinson Sanchez was like a puppet on a string, didn't know where he was all game. And for me, the biggest problem is if you make summer signings in Christian Romero, Emerson Royale, and Brian Hill as well. I really like Brian Hill. He's too young for me to put any kind of pressure on him at all. But I think that when you have those summer signings and Davinson Sanchez and Eric Dyer are still keeping you out that side, you've got a really big problem. So for me, there's a lot of issues at Spurs, and Spurs fans will know exactly, what these issues are. It's actually not too dissimilar to what happens at Arsenal. I know you're obviously.
We're going to talk about Arsenal.
You're on a run at the minute, but obviously, I think the problem is both of our teams are very underlying. We have the same issues, and going back to the board, and how the club is run, and certain things like that.
I've got a couple super chats before they disappear.
Super chats.
AS says super chat for Pippa. Tottenham get battered. It's actually a super chat. Everywhere they go.
All right, at least it's a super chat.
When he said this?
You get it for free.
He said the Emirates was loud yesterday. Did you hear that? Because that's what was ringing around the stadium.
I just heard whatever was on TalkSport.
Oh, okay. That was literally ringing around the stadium.
It's true. We do get battered everywhere we go.
Another super chat here from Courtesy says, "Hey ladies, shout out from Cape Town.
Woo!
Is an advantage that Arsenal have played 3 out of 5 Big Six teams, whereas Man United hasn't played any Big Six games." We're going to get onto Man United.
Here we are. We're going to get there.
Let's focus on Arsenal now, because we've spoken about Tottenham.
I have to say, I really thought Arsenal were fantastic yesterday. I thought Spurs were terrible and literally didn't turn up. But credit to Arsenal. I thought Ramsdale was amazing. I thought Tommy Asu looked really, really good yesterday. I love him already. I mean, literally had Son in his pocket for 90% of that game.
And that was one of the main focal points for me, because we've seen that he's won every battle in previous games he's played, and every header. And I was thinking, can he do it against Son though? Because playing against Burnley and playing against
Norwich and Burnley,
it's not the same. So the performance I saw from him, outstanding. Gabriel, Ben White, the whole back line.
I thought Thomas Partey had a great game. And
we needed that from Partey, because if you remember, one of the last times he played one of his first North London derbies, he didn't know how to get himself off. He was injured, and he pulled his hamstring or whatever it is, and he walked off. Whilst you lot were attacking. I think Kane, and that's why they scored. And I was just like, Thomas, this is not how you do it in the Premier League. You got to sit down or something. But he's made up for it. Had the game of his life.
He had
yesterday.
a really, really good game.
Had a shot on target as well, because most of his ones go.
But I thought Arsenal were fantastic yesterday. I'm never going to take anything away from a team that outplays another team, and I think that obviously you're on a good little run now. No, I think 1 goal conceded. Okay. But apart from that, you've looked really positive, haven't you?
Emil Smith Rowe and Saka, I'm literally made up for them for what they did yesterday. Emil Smith Rowe was pretty much involved in every goal. That flick on from Aubameyang where he dummied it and turned around on that second goal was insane, and he what's the word? Emulated the Henry celebration where he did the knee slide in front of the Tottenham fans. I actually didn't see that because I was too busy going mad. I was in the stands losing my head. I was jumping around. So when I saw the picture on social media, I was like, is that what happened? We was too busy. People were next to me falling over their seats. So,
I'll give you
Good
this
game.
one.
Good game.
I will give you this one. And
I'm being polite today.
I know
we could have been.
We could have been. Do you know what? We're friends.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll let you live today.
And also, she also knows that I don't care that much at this point. I don't.
Trust me, she was crying.
I've got a nice stat for you. Arsenal have recorded their 600th Premier League win, just the third side to reach this total after Chelsea 601 and Manchester United 691. So that's a nice one. I'm trying to see if there's anything that's positive for Spurs in this.
Give me a good one.
There we go. That's not nice, but still, we'll just say it anyway. Tottenham are only the second team in Premier League history to win their first 3 games of the season and then lose their next 3 after Everton, who then went on to finish 17th. Thank you, Jason, for putting that one in there.
I did a show for North London Preview, and it was all about expected goals and where if we're going on stats, where both teams should be. And I think Arsenal should have been 10th, which I think is where we are now. And Tottenham should have been 17th.
Well, I saw a stat yesterday from Sky after, and it was where Spurs have ranked this season in terms of shots was, I think it was 19th. Chances created 20th, something else 20th, and then distance covered 20th. Yeah. And for me, and the Spurs fans will probably agree, going from a team under Pochettino, where you might not have played, you might not have won anything, but you knew every game you were going to work so hard and pretty much work your bollocks off and cover the most ground and make yourself good in that sense. And to go from that level to being 20th behind, no disrespect to the likes of other teams such as Norwich or Burnley or someone else, but there's no way that Tottenham Hotspur should be 20th for distance covered when you have that type of calibre of players, in my opinion. Good. And that just shows you that there was something inherently not right in terms of not just the manager, but the team.
It's new to him. You got to give these managers time.
Yeah, but they're the same players. That's why I don't fully blame Nuno. I think it's a combination of lots of different things. I'm not necessarily...
As we've seen, things change so quickly in this league. That's why I'm going to stop gloating now, because
they'll probably lose to Brighton.
The next test, and that's going to be a bigger test. As crazy as it sounds,
but you can gloat. You can gloat as much as you like until we do Premier League preview on Thursday. Yeah. Okay, Southampton 0, Wolves 1. Finally, a win for Wolves.
Woo.
Finally, and Raul Jimenez, I was so happy to see.
Yeah, what a goal as well. Lovely finish.
It was a really lovely finish. I'm so happy to see him back scoring, especially after all the things that he's gone through.
Yeah.
So that is Wolves have won 3 consecutive away games in all competitions without conceding for the first time since a run of 4 between October and December 2017.
Wow.
So, I mean, they haven't looked good this season.
No.
They've really struggled to put the ball in the back of the net. They got 2 obviously against Spurs typically in the Carabao Cup in the week. I know they went out, but maybe that was a bit of a confidence booster for them, just to know that they can hit the back of the net.
Yeah. But they made it as far as penalties, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They made it as far as penalties. They need to work on their penalties. But apart from that,
penalties are always a nervy thing, isn't it? So
always. But Southampton, I actually thought Southampton did have chances in that game. I thought Jose Sarr for Wolves was very, very good in keeping Wolves in that tie. How do you feel Southampton were?
Jose Sarr was the man for them. For Wolves. And for me, I think it's almost been a year now, like you mentioned, pretty much a year. November. Yeah. I remember the game was against Arsenal.
Yeah.
November last year.
I can't believe that was November as well.
Yeah, so almost a year for him to come back and score a goal. I'm absolutely made up for him. Southampton, I actually expected better, even though they grew into the game in the second half.
They did have chances. Adam Armstrong had chances as well, but again, just couldn't get past that.
It's a shame because obviously their last game against City they didn't score either, but to hold City to a 0-0 is quite good at this point of the season. But I just wanted them to get a goal. Southampton need to kick on now. I know they've lost Danny Ings, but they need to start providing goals. Yeah, they do. That is a big problem for them. But Jose Sarr became the first Wolverhampton Wanderers goalkeeper to assist a Premier League goal since Wayne Hennessy, who assisted Kevin Doyle in 2009. Wow. That's a long time ago. That is a really long time. That was a really long time ago. He had a really, really good game. And also just on Southampton. But didn't Edison assist someone? Was it Man City? Oh, for Wolves. I was going to say. For Wolves. So like last year I saw Edison or Allison. Yeah, Edison. Edison. But I have to say, Southampton, Livramento, who they signed, I think was from Chelsea. Yeah. He's been a really, really good signing for Southampton so far, I think. But what do you think Southampton, even though they've got good signings, they're playing decent football. Yeah. They're not conceding many goals, but obviously they're not providing goals either. Yeah. What can they achieve this season? Well, the thing is with Southampton, they always sell their best players. So that is a problem. If you consistently sell your best players, you don't give
any opportunity for your squad to grow and your manager to actually start a proper project. But I do think bringing him in has been a good thing. And he's only 18 years old, so hopefully they'll hang on to him at least for a year, 2 years.
I'm worried for them slightly because obviously they've dropped down to the table now. I think they're 17th or something like that. They're just floating above relegation. They've got Chelsea away at the Bridge next game. That's going to be a bigger test than Wolves was.
The thing is, I think that one of those things for Southampton, it's like there's certain games where you're not expected to win, and I think that going to Chelsea, going to City, going to United, for example, I don't think that those are the games that they're expected to win. I think it's kind of like
if they can nick a 0-0 again, like they did against City.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like if you can nick something, then okay. But like the games that they'll need to concentrate on are the games
like this.
Yeah, games like this that are winnable. Against the newly promoted sides. Even teams like Everton, Spurs, Arsenal. They're the games that Southampton have to, and sometimes actually do usually pick up points against yourself and us. So, we'll have to see how that carries on. Moving on to Everton 2, Norwich 0.
Oh dear Norwich.
Not good.
Not good at all.
There's a lot of talk that Norwich could potentially be like Derby and have like 9 points. That's the worst ever tally in a Premier League
what
season.
do you mean at the end of the season?
County,
no, you think Norwich only get 9 points at the end of the season?
There's been talk. I didn't say that. I'm just telling you what the streets are saying. That's just what the streets say.
It can't be that bad for them. I mean, it's bad for them now.
It's
but
not
we're only in September going into October.
It's not looking very good. And I think that there has been the fixtures for Norwich which haven't been kind. Obviously facing Manchester City, they faced Liverpool early on in the season as well.
They've got Burnley next, so.
But again, these are the games they have to win, and they were away from home. But they have to start putting points on the board.
It's worrying because I think I've said this before. Out of the 3 teams that were promoted, I thought Norwich were the ones that would do a lot better. I thought Norwich would be doing what Brentford are doing now. Because their Premier League experience. Some of those players that are in that squad were here a couple of years ago. The Pookies, the Cantwells, I don't understand what's going wrong there.
Well, I think it's within their resources, isn't it? I think that their chairman has openly said they're very happy for, to be within the top 25 teams in England. But that's a shame because I think to myself, it's not competitive. If the same clubs always get promoted, I know Brentford are different this year, and I'm really happy Brentford finally did get through and get promoted. When you look at the likes that Norwich come up and down, West Brom are another team that come up and down. Bournemouth haven't come up and down, I guess, but those type of teams. Fulham, another one.
Fulham definitely.
What is the point? If you're going to come up and you're just going to be the exact same as you were, and you're not going to be any type of competitiveness and actually give it a go.
But maybe that's the culture of the club. Just like I can understand from that owner's viewpoint what being in the top 25 for England does for them. It may be not good enough for people like us that are privileged to have Premier League football every season. But
for now,
but for a club like Norwich who have had playoff finals and played at Wembley and been to the Premier League.
Money, isn't it?
They're doing okay for whatever their standards may be. They're still a well-known club. They still have very good players. They know they're not going to win the league. All they can be in contention for is FA Cups.
It's not about winning the league. It's about actually being competitive. Brentford aren't going to win the league, are they?
Yeah, but the thing is, a team like Norwich, they think about winning cups, League Cups, FA Cups. You can still do that in the Championships, but they're not probably concerned about being a Premier League team.
No, you're right. You do make a valid point. You make a very valid point.
As long as they have a good cup run, which they
haven't.
So it is a bit problematic.
But they are going to have to start picking up some points at home because they are the games that count. Everton have won 4 consecutive Premier League games at Goodison Park for the first time since September 2019, which was under Marco Silva. That seems an absolute lifetime ago that they had that Marco Silva was there. And Norwich have lost each of their first 6 Premier League games this season with a goal difference of -14. It's the worst ever start at this stage of the season in the competition's history. You laughed at me about Derby.
I know, but that's insane. I've got a super chat here from Fizz and he keeps complaining I'm not reading it. I'm so sorry. And we've spoken about this already, but I'll read it anyway. He says, Tottenham have bottled a good start for the second time since 2020. The last time they did this, 2021, when they dropped from 1st to 8th class.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that
I've read it now, Fizz.
I read that. Thank you very much.
Anyway, back to Doucouré.
Doucouré, yes. I mean, Abdoulaye Doucouré scored his 2nd Premier League goal of the season in his 6th appearance. And that's as many as he scored in the whole of 2020-2021 and in 29 games for Everton. Very good player.
I like Doucouré.
Really, really good player. Well, obviously, he was at Watford before that, wasn't he? Good signing. Not usually ones beaten and amongst the goals, but here we are.
It's not his job, is it? But if he gets involved, why not? he does his job well in midfield. He's always been that solid midfielder that not really creative, but that he controls the midfield.
Yeah.
And he's got that strength where you're not really trying to battle against him, because he's more times out of 10 he's going to win the battle.
Yeah.
And he brings so much to that Everton team. I wouldn't say he's underrated. I think Everton fans will really appreciate him.
Yeah.
And Townsend as well is growing into being a blue.
That was my next point.
Growing into being a blue.
You know, he's fit right in since coming from Palace, and I think it was one of those things that his time had really come at Palace. Needed
because kind of forgotten about.
Yeah, he just needed a fresh start, and I think that's probably what's been good. He can always still do a job for any team that he's at.
But to me, seeing him in the Everton shirt, even when I was watching the game last week, I was thinking, this doesn't look right.
Yeah, because
when he scored, I was like, what?
So used to seeing him at Palace, but I'm really happy for him. Look, he's obviously ex-Spurs as well. He's been directly involved in 7 goals in his 8 appearances in all competitions this season. So it's 4 goals and 3 assists, more than any other Everton player. So I think that's a really good start for his Everton life. Do you have a super chat or something?
Yeah, can I just, in case I'm going crazy, have I mentioned anything about Manchester United yet?
No, we haven't spoken
I haven't even said the word Manchester United until now.
Why?
But Andrew says, Pippa, pipe down about United. You lot beat average Spurs side and now you're questioning. You're still mid-table, maybe the title of the vid, Arsenal will fall short. Did I title the video?
We have not spoken about Manchester United yet.
Andrew, calm down.
That game is so far down our list. They are not.
Yeah, it's not even important. Was it even on Match of the Day? No, I'm joking. Now you tell me to pipe down. But I haven't mentioned them yet. We're getting to your team.
Yeah, you'll just stay tuned and we'll get there. And then she can battle you lot. It's okay. Before we move on to the next game, I just had to tell you this stat. Norwich goalkeeper Tim Krul has been on the losing side in 100 of his 199 Premier League appearances.
Oh, that is a horrible stat.
That is not good.
He's half good.
He's half good, half bad. That's not good at all. But yeah, hopefully Norwich can get some points and hopefully move off the bottom.
They're going down. It's safe to say. It's an easy bet to say that at this time of the season they're going down.
I think so. Moving on, Leeds United 1, West Ham United 2. Again, I actually thought Leeds should have done better. I thought they had quite a few shots on goal. That chance from Rafinha that didn't go in, the one that he did go in, the one that didn't go in. He should have done better for that. Leeds are a very big concern at the moment.
No, I don't think they are.
I think they are.
I think you said that last week as well.
Because they're not doing anything at all. As long as he continues to play the same way every single week, cannot defend Leeds. They just can't.
You think they've run out of fuel? They ain't got no more credit in the bank?
I think I really like Leeds, and I think that they play really good football, attacking, but they just have no plan B. And hopefully there are some Leeds fans in this chat that will also give their opinion. But I just think that it's a worry that they haven't got off to a good start to the season, really. I don't actually think that they've won. I could be wrong. Maybe they've won 1.
No, they have.
They won 1?
Come on, they're on there. They're not at the bottom of the table.
They're not far off. They're really not far off.
And you're not respecting Leeds, are you?
They've lost consecutive home league matches against West Ham for the first time in their history. Of course, Rafinha has
they are at the bottom of the table.
They are at the bottom of the table. Shows how much she knew. But they are a really big concern for me because I really enjoy watching their attacking, progressive style of football. But Marco Bielsa just doesn't want to adapt. He's not getting it right at the time, right now. And why does he not want to adapt? Because surely you have to understand that, like, you can always admire teams for playing attacking football, and obviously being a Spurs fan, that's all I want to see. Yeah. But there is also a time and a place with Leeds, for example, where, you kind of have to adapt to what the other team is doing or have a plan B, which I don't feel that they have. And I think that I think they need to do something.
I think the only reason you're worried about them is because of what they did last season.
Well, I like to see them playing well.
But if they didn't perform how they did last season, and they were at where they are right now, 18th, no wins.
Yeah, maybe you wouldn't be concerned. Yeah.
But you're going off the back of last season where
and knowing the football that they can play, and also I feel sorry for the fans because obviously the fans who go to Ellen Road, they waited so long, and obviously last season they couldn't go.
Of course, and
now they're finally back, and now they're not seeing the Leeds that we all saw last year.
Maybe like a lot of pundits said it, a lot of fans said it. Teams played differently during that lockdown period without the fans' pressure. Yeah. So maybe you're seeing now. Like even Brentford, would they be the Brentford they are right now if they didn't have the roar of that new community stadium? Because the fans are literally their 12th man every game that they're at home.
Potentially not. But however, West Ham United, they just won't go away, will they?
They're becoming one of the better London clubs, better than Tottenham.
They've become better than both of us at this rate. And Mikel Antonio, I mean, what a player. I know you love Antonio as well. Yeah. He's a really, really good player. Well, you think at one point, I swear he was at right full back at one point, wasn't he? He literally could just play play anywhere, this guy. Third player to score a 90th minute winner against Leeds at Ellen Road in the Premier League.
Go on,
that's
lad.
a good stat in here. There's just been a million stats thrown in here. West Ham, they still look good. No hangovers, it seems, from Thursday nights. I know that I think they had gone a few games without a win prior to this one. Obviously, they beat United in the week. There we go. There's United shout out. But I think that West Ham are still looking as if they carried on from last season.
That's a team that you wouldn't worry about right now. There was concerns when Jesse Lingard left, because obviously when he went to West Ham United, he really just inserted, like, he was
so much energy.
And it was like the missing piece of their puzzle. And that back end of the season, he was doing bits for them basically. And I guess West Ham fans thought, or maybe football fans, if they lost Jesse Lingard, they may not be able to have that creative football that they were having, as many goals they were having. Jesse Lingard scored some, even though there weren't many, he scored some good goals for them, especially against Arsenal. So even though without Jesse Lingard, they've still got the Soucek, Jared Bowen.
And
in the
there's people
midfield,
and there's Ben Rama. They've got a really, really good side. I think Kurt Zuma coming in as well has also been a good thing for West Ham. And as much as I dislike West Ham from a Spurs perspective, you can't really knock them. The fact that they're doing really well, and I think that it's they waited a long time for it, West Ham fans, so they might as well enjoy it while they can. If Nikki's watching,
what do you mean enjoy while they can? I think they will do well. I think. I think they'll do well. I think they'll do well.
Cycle at the moment.
No, I think they'll do well until about January, February. I think they'll have a long stretch of good games.
And then after January,
then
February?
I think obviously depending on how their European football goes. It all depends on their European football. If they can balance it out well with the squad that they have and their fitness levels, then I think they'll have a good run till January, February if they continue the way they're playing now.
Okay, we'll see. Leicester City 2, Burnley 2. I think Jamie Vardy scored 3 goals in this game.
Yeah, he scored a own goal. Whoops.
He was scoring at both ends. But can we just give some appreciation to Jamie Vardy? He's 37, right?
I still can't believe this.
He's still doing it.
Still scoring goals.
Both ends. How is he still doing this at 37
He's a legend. I told you he's a legend.
He is.
A lot of people won't admit it, but he's actually a living legend.
He is a Premier League legend. But the fact that he's
be in the
still
Hall of Fame
this.
soon.
However, they have only enjoyed 1 win in their last 5 Premier League home games. After winning 6 of the 9 before that. So it hasn't been a great start to the season for Leicester either.
No.
What do you think is going on there? Is it just a bit of tiredness, do you reckon? Their squad depth isn't huge.
I can't put my finger on this one.
It can't be the manager, surely.
It's because Brendan Rodgers has been so good for Leicester. He's been a good manager even before Leicester. And what they did pre-season, winning those 2 cups, I just don't understand. Did they over-celebrate? I don't understand. How they're not kicked on this season. That's the thing that's concerning for me. Of course, they've still got time to come back and go on a good run, but the way they've started the season has been very disappointing. The losses that they've had, they conceded 4 goals against West Ham. I know it was away for them, but even that was a huge shock for me. Especially when you think that they've got, they have got good players in their side, good defence, good, good midfielders as well. My one thing, Patson Daka, I don't believe he scored yet, has he? Since coming into the Premier League. I'm quite disappointed. I know you, because you was excited about him coming to the league. I thought he was a good signing, and I just maybe he's not fitting into their style of play. I don't know. It does take time to come into the Premier League. It does. You have that big adaptation period. It does take some players longer than others. But I don't know. I'm a bit underwhelmed so far. But with Leicester in general, I know obviously they fought back in that game, but I am a little bit. And actually, that's Jamie Vardy's first ever own goal for Leicester. So I think in 360 appearances, I've got a stat here for you which you'll like, and I'll read it out. I know why Jason's put it in here. Since their return to the Premier League in 2014-15, Leicester have scored 14 own goals, only Tottenham putting through their own net more often. Love 15. That. Thank you. What a mess. What a calamity. What a calamity. But in terms of Patson Daka, if you want to see a goal from him, Rodgers has got to play him more often, or start him at least. Yep, absolutely. I think maybe switch it up a bit. Switch up the starting 11 a little bit. Let's not take anything away from Burnley though, because that's a good result for Burnley away at Leicester, despite whatever run they're on at the moment. Maxwell Cornet as well on the score sheet, so clearly doing the business after his signing, which is always good to see. And I'm quite happy for Burnley. Where are they on the table? Why are you happy for Burnley? Because I get ripped all the time for saying that I'm anti-Burnley, because I said they could go down this year. People say you're anti-Burnley. Apparently I'm anti-Burnley. They're 19th, babe. Yeah, I know, but I'm happy for them. For a draw?
Point, yeah, because I'm going to get told that I'm anti-Burnley if I say that they should be doing better.
Oh. How many points do you think they'll end the season on?
I still think they'll go down.
Oh, so you're still anti-Burnley?
I'm still anti-Burnley.
They're like minus.
I think that's a good point for them to pick up away at Leicester, because like we said about games that you have to be reasonable in thinking you're going to get points against.
Yeah.
Maybe Leicester, I would think they might not pick up points against them, so I think that's a good result for them.
Well, at least they've got some points on the board.
Exactly. More than Norwich could say.
Yeah, well, everyone's got more than Norwich.
More than Norwich. Right.
Sorry, Norwich fans.
So we're going to have an anti-Norwich campaign.
They're going to get on to me now.
Watford won, Newcastle United won. You're like this because one of your favourite players for Watford scored.
Who?
Ismail Sarr.
Oh, yeah. I do like, I was thinking, who's my favourite player? But I do like him.
You do like
as well,
him.
Yeah.
You like him a lot. So that's 8 goals in his last 11 league appearances for Watford. So I think he's had a great start to the season, hasn't he?
But it's Newcastle for me. Like, I don't want to be worried about other Premier League teams, but the Newcastles, the Leeds, as you said, even though I'm not that concerned for them, Norwich, but Newcastle got big problems. Huge problems. And Jacob Murphy, how have you not put that away?
I know.
I probably shouldn't bring it up because he's probably still reliving that moment now.
Just to put it in context, this is the one where St. Maxim did all the stuff.
Hard work. Yeah. The through ball was incredible.
What did you say, miraculous?
I was going to say miraculous. It would have been miraculous if he finished it. Like, it was just perfectly weighted, perfectly timed, ahead of him. He's got the legs, he's got the sprint. He got there before the 3 defenders. Yeah. And then he just said, here you go, keeper, have that.
Basically.
So
there we go. I think St. Maximum is a fantastic player. I think that if it's shocking that no one has come in for him.
Why? Where should he go? I hear that a lot. Where should he be?
I'd have him.
Oh, yeah.
You? I think you'd have him as well.
To be fair, yeah.
I think that he's got so much quality about him. I think that, again, in a different team, I think that he could be even better.
But don't you think that's good of Newcastle to hold on to a player like that?
I don't know how much longer he'll be there for, I have to say, especially if they keep playing the way that they're playing.
Yeah.
A good stat for you here, not for Newcastle fans, is that they're the first team to fail to win any of their first 6 games of a Premier League season. As on the same amount of occasions. They've also done it in 1999 to 2000, 2003-04, 2014-15, 15-16, and 18.
They've got a record of being
19.
Bad.
That is not good.
Yeah.
So I think that look, Newcastle fans know they're not happy with Steve Bruce. I don't think that it's going to be a difference whoever comes in. Personally, I think that it's just the issues that they have ongoing at the club. Obviously, they still want the club sale to go through. Whether or not that happens after the tribunal with the Premier League is a different thing.
Yeah.
But I think that they've got big problems.
I've got to say, I love St. Maximin's tweets, by the way. Have you seen his tweets?
He
tweets always banter, but like he tweeted it was a clip from FIFA. Have you seen where Steve Bruce is outrunning the whole bench?
I didn't see that.
And he was like, FIFA, how have you given Steve Bruce 99 pace and not me? And Steve Bruce is just there like pelting it after a goal celebration.
That is good banter actually from him. Very, very good banter.
I love his Twitter
I need
account.
to see that tweet. But yes, I don't know. I think Watford, again, okay start to the season.
Yeah,
good that they're picking up goals.
Bad.
Not too much to sing and dance about.
No.
I think Newcastle should arguably have done better, especially missing so many chances. But yeah, points shared all round. I think I had that in my Premier League preview.
What was that? You thought they would?
I think I had a draw. Yeah, I think I did. Hopefully, I think I did anyway. We're going to add them all up at the end of the season, I think, and have to do some type of forfeit.
Oh, you've lost already.
Actually, Flex called it spot on.
What did he say? 2-2?
No, with our game, he said 3-1.
Really?
Yeah,
somebody else called that as well.
He called
Sharky, and I was like, how did you predict that? Because I said like 1-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really did call that. Chelsea 0, Manchester City 1.
Good game. Even more. Second half was a lot better than the first half.
Okay.
First half was absolutely boring.
Really?
Dry.
Cagey?
Not even cagey. Well, the first 10 minutes a bit. Chelsea couldn't even get out of their box, let alone their half.
Yeah. Chelsea sat very, very deep, didn't they?
Yeah, but the City's press is not a joke.
It's not, but Chelsea were at home, especially coming off of that big confidence one the week before, battering Spurs 3-0. You would have thought that they were maybe ready to give it a go against City.
But this is
they've got to show their
City,
title.
Spurs.
They've got to show their title. They've got to show their title credentials against a team like Manchester City, especially at home.
So that's how you just knew it was going to be a difficult game for both teams.
Yeah.
Because I actually couldn't call who would win that, but I knew it would be either a draw or 1-0 either way.
Yeah.
And it could have been 1-0 pretty much either way, even though Chelsea didn't have that many chances in comparison to City's and the possession. It was all City. even though the goal wasn't that convincing, it was a Gabriel Jesus shot that come off someone's shin.
If I hear again that City don't have a striker, they do have a striker. They just play him on the wing.
Then they don't have a striker.
Gabriel Jesus is a striker.
But there's no striker in the game.
Because he plays him on the wing.
That means there's no striker.
But he is a striker.
Antonio's a right back.
He's a bloody striker. I'm not having it. When they say, oh, strikerless Manchester City. No, he is a striker.
Well, the striker striked and he got a goal.
He did, and I think that's a good thing for him because I feel that he gets unfairly criticised.
Yeah.
And they say that he's not a number. They say they don't have a number 9 when they do have a number 9.
Well, Pep had Tuchel's number this time because they've struggled in the past few occasions to get a win over Chelsea, especially at Stamford Bridge anyway.
Yeah. Well, actually, that is back-to-back away top-flight games. Wins against Chelsea since 1955.
No.
Wow, I read that wrong. Wow, that's crazy. Damn. 1955. That's the time that's mad.
Yeah, it's not an easy fixture, especially for Pep.
Back-to-back wins.
It's a big win for City. They needed that, especially after the dry result they had against Southampton previously.
Yeah.
So to beat Chelsea 1-0 away, that's a big statement to the league. Big statement to Tuchel because obviously everyone's been singing Chelsea and Tuchel's praises.
Yeah.
Tuchel. There you go.
Tuchel.
Thomas. Everyone's been singing Thomas's praises.
Yeah, I think it's been a nice little breather. Yeah. That it has brought people who support Chelsea and other things down to reality. That there are other people.
Just down a little.
There are other people in this title race. Chelsea are, of course, a fantastic outfit, but Manchester City should not be forgotten in their tilt for the title.
Yeah.
Just before we move on, Manchester City fullback Kyle Walker has made his 500th appearance of his club.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know, wow. Club career in all competitions. That was his 189th.
And can I just say, I feel like he doesn't get enough credit.
He doesn't.
He was superb.
He's a great defender.
Yeah, Diaz, he was very good.
Yeah.
And I think that would kind of go unnoticed. Kante, of course, was good until he came off. I mean, he dropped Rodri.
Yeah.
I don't know if he dropped him. Superb skill, but I think Kyle Walker needs to get a bit more praise in that City team.
He doesn't get enough credit, but also 500 appeares is pretty good.
Decent.
Pretty good. Manchester United.
Here you go. Where's Daniel? Was it Daniel or Andrew?
That's our last one as well.
This is what with the icing of the cake. It's what you've been waiting for.
Best till last, apparently.
Best till last.
Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 1. I think Aston Villa are great.
Actually, throughout the game, pretty decent.
I think they've been great this season. I think, especially when you have...
great, they've been okay.
When you think about it, they've lost their best player, okay? And the time it takes to adapt to doing that, life without your best player in Jack Grealish, I think they've been very, very good. I think you're being really harsh.
I'm not. They've had a good start.
They've had a good start to the season.
Yeah, they're good. Not great. They're good.
I'm very impressed with them. She's such a tough crowd.
Big up Courtney House with the winning header of the game.
Yeah.
And great. I know let's see the title of this video exactly.
What is the title of this video?
Will Man United fall short of top 4?
Wow.
Do you think they'll fall short?
No, I don't. I still think they'll finish top 4. I don't think they'll win the league. I think I don't think they're good enough to win the league. Obviously, there's a lot of criticism over Bruno's penalty.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be taking penalties anymore. I think Ronaldo will have been like, right, that's mine.
Will he though? Yeah, I love the way Martinez got into his head. I genuinely don't think they will fall short. I think there will be a moment of this season where we will see some teams, whether it may be Chelsea, I know that sounds surprising, maybe out of the 4, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United, I think you may see United slip at some point where they might drop to a 6th or a 7th and they'll come straight back up.
I think that they've got too much quality to not.
They just need to make it work together now because that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, it does. And I think that, obviously the penalty miss didn't help. Martinez getting in his head. But I mean,
I love that for Martinez. The celebration as well.
But I think you'd always back him to take a pen, like
Fernandes. I was surprised about that. But then again, before Ronaldo arrived,
Fernandes for nothing.
Before Ronaldo arrived, that was Bruno's job, and he puts them away all the time. I don't know what happened. I don't know what Martinez said to him. I don't know what went wrong.
Probably said Ronaldo should be taking that. Something like that.
You're not the man.
Yeah, you're not the main man
let's see R7 take it. But the thing is, how do you feel about all this babying after the game every time?
Oh, the comments,
the paragraphs and essays of I apologise that I missed, and I mean, if there's a cup final, I can understand.
I have to say, I was having a chat before we started filming, and I said that there are certain things on social media I think are necessary. Like, for example, Arsenal, when you lot haven't been doing very well, your players have come out and tweeted and said, we'll do better for you. That type of thing. I'm all for it. You know, if you lose a cup final, like you said, and I think there needs to be more of that, something that Spurs fans should also agree that our team didn't do yesterday, didn't even come out and say anything, which is terrible.
What do you want them to say?
Sorry.
For what?
For that terrible performance. Like your lot
it's just a league game.
It's not. It's a derby.
Win some, you lose some.
But I think that, you know, just because he's missed a pen against, against Villa, I think that's a bit much.
I think it's the pressure because all eyes have been on Manchester United since Ronaldo arrived.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone around the world is so invested in what
Manchester
United are going to do, especially the first game as well. They had a good result when he arrived.
Yeah.
And everyone's just thinking, right, every week it's going to be goals galore. Every week it's going to be a win. United are going to win the league. They're going to win Champions League. They're going to win the quadruple. That's gone out the window now.
Exactly.
But do you know what I mean? And I'm not mad at United fans thinking that, because even me as an Arsenal fan, just as a football fan, you look at that and think, oh, the players they've got, Sancho, Varane, Ronaldo, the players they brought in, you think they are actually going to do something crazy this year. And to see them lose against Aston Villa at home, I think
it's the at-home part that's rattled so many people, because I think Aston Villa are a good side. I think Villa are going to rip us apart next week, in my opinion. But yes, I think that credit to Aston Villa, they played well. I think they've really turned, since Grealish has gone, they've looked quite good, especially in the last few games. So I'm really, really happy for them. And that's their first victory over United in their last 18 meetings since winning 1-0 at Old Trafford in December 2009.
Wow. And they've done it again.
But also, just on that Bruno thing, that's the first time he's missed in 23 attempts.
See? He puts them away normally. That's probably why he felt pressured to apologise. But I really want to know, maybe because I know there's a lot of United fans in the comments, I want to know where they think it went wrong.
Yeah.
Is it Oli? Is it?
They're always going to say it's Oli. They're always going to say that.
But is it though? Like, let's not be reactionary. Let's not be.
Yeah, but they're always going to say it's Oli.
Okay.
But put it in the chats, just because he Oli out, Oli out, Oli out.
No, I don't want to see that. I want to know what the issue is there. Was it the wrong
formation, wrong team, wrong tactics? Yeah, put it in the chat, guys, because we're nearly finished. I saw
his tweet this morning or yesterday.
That's a big
he's meeting a doctor. No, he had a meeting with his doctor.
He has a meeting with the doctor.
He's had the meeting, and he's likely to be back soonish.
Probably after international break.
Yeah.
Can't wait for international break and then break. Last game, it's not to be played yet. Crystal Palace versus Brighton. Mentioned at the beginning of the show, Brighton could go top.
Wow.
Tonight.
What a start to the season for them.
What a start.
Wow.
I'm buzzing for Graham Potter.
Are you? You're a big fan of Graham Potter.
I know. I really like...
Should Spurs have got him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really, really like Graham Potter. I like the way he plays football. I like that Brighton are a good... they play attacking football as well. I think they're a good side in their constraints. And I'm really happy to see them doing well. Of course, I think we all know that they're not going to stay top.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with the start of the season. They might. I'm happy with the start of the season that they've had, and also for the fact that Brighton have always played good football, but they could never get the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
And finally, they're getting people scoring, whether it be Welbeck or Neil Mopai. They're actually getting consistent goals, and I'm really happy for them with that.
I know we're talking about Brighton, but I don't want to ignore the viewers. I did say put it in the chat.
Yeah, go on.
I know the comments are coming through now. So Craig says the problem is Oli, not the squad so much. He could have had 11 world-class players and still finish 6th. JS Living says no game plan.
Okay.
Kevin says, why do people act like Villa are rubbish when they have a very solid team? Villa is never an easy game, and I can definitely contest to that.
I just bigged them up massively.
Yeah.
She shot me down.
And Chi says Bruno is still class though, but I think Ronaldo should have taken it. He's ice cold in clutch situations. And there was a comment here from Dave saying put it in the chat, but you're not reading the chat. I am always reading the chat.
She's always reading the chat.
I am always reading the chat.
At least no one trolled me on that time. Crystal Palace, under Vieira, how have you seen that so far?
It hasn't exceeded expectations. He's done what he's needed to do so far.
Yeah.
It's Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
So they're on level where they should be, as bad as that sounds.
Yeah.
They've had some good results we've seen against Tottenham.
I don't know if that's a good result anymore. I think every team is just going to get a good result.
No, that's a really big result for Crystal Palace.
It was.
It's massive for them. I don't know. I don't know what I expect from Crystal Palace this season. Obviously, now that an Invincible is in charge of them, I want to see them do well.
Yeah.
But I'm always on and off with Palace.
I think that they've got a lot of things that are going on in terms of changing and having it. After Roy's gone and they've had a lot of players outgoing, I think it's a bit of a transitional period. That was the word I was looking for. I couldn't think what it was. Transitional period. So I think there's not too much pressure on Vieira, really. I think that if, they pick up wins here and there.
That's what I mean. I don't think it's a pressurised job. And
I
think that's why it was a good job for him, selection, because it's a Premier League team. You get to play the best teams in the league week in, week out. But there's not as much pressure on you, let's say, if you was to go to...
Arsenal.
Not even, in Arsenal, of course, but like, let's say even at Everton, or... Another team, I feel like Crystal Palace, there wouldn't be much pressure for him
as there was if he was to go to that next level up in the Premier League. Fair enough. That is also a derby tonight, so Monday night football. Apparently it's a derby.
What's your predictions for that? Yeah, what do you mean? That's massive, that game.
I know.
I went, oh my goodness.
I feel like I had no idea about this, that how seriously they all took it. I'm really
I always
sorry.
knew there was some type of rivalry there, but until I actually went to a Palace v Brighton game, that's the day, that's where I met Basuma.
Oh, that's
when I went to that game, I had to... The police cordons, there was this, I was just like, what's the big deal? And they was like, do you not know the... I said, yeah, there's a rivalry, but he's like, it's insane.
Is it like the something they call it, the motorway derby or something?
Listen, it was insane.
Put it in the chat, I can't remember.
Because the way the fans, I've been to derbies, you know what I mean? I've been to them. But this one was...
different.
Chaotic.
Wow.
So...
I have to say, I had no idea that it was such an intense derby until Flex was like, like, don't you know? I was like, well, I didn't realise they were that close to each other, to be honest with you, but I'm all for it. We'll obviously be watching that this evening. Prediction for me, I'm backing Brighton to go top. Tonight, I'm going to go, I think it'll be tight. I think I'm going to go with a 1-0 win.
I think it'll be 2-0 Palace.
2-0 Palace?
Oh, no, sorry, 2-0 Brighton, sorry. I think it'll be 2-0 Brighton, yeah.
Just because it's at Palace?
Yeah.
You feel like it'll be...
I just think Brighton have just... They're flying right now. They've got goal scorers. Their midfield is secure.
Yeah.
I think they'll keep a clean sheet, and I think it'll be 2-0.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on to team of the week. I need to get mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Love this part. Whilst you're looking for them, I'll go through some more comments. Yash says, if Oli wins the game from Villarreal till Brighton in December, we'll be top of the table into the round of 16 for Champions League, etc. And Kevin saying a CDM is literally the missing piece of the puzzle for United. Pogba and Bruno can't do their job when the likes of Fred and Matic, who is far past his prime, a CDM would literally transform the team. I have heard a lot of Man United fans complain about Fred and Matic.
Yes, there has been a lot of
and yeah, of course, Stephen said they had the Shaw injury. Luke Shaw was taken off and taken off due to injury. And Mustafa says, I've never seen a bigger downgrade from Sir Alex to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Damn.
There was a few other downgrades during that period of time. I wouldn't just say Ole. I think David Moyes would have also been one from going from Sir Alex to David Moyes.
Yeah, okay, cool. But David Moyes is still a good manager.
Yeah, now,
but obviously in context, that time, it wasn't
so
really.
You can't just say, from Sir Alex to Ole. Like,
there was people before that, Ranga.
Yeah, there's been levels in that time. All right, team of the week. So Pippa has gone for, believe it or not, she didn't go completely Arsenal based. At one point, I think she wanted to.
Not be biased.
She went with Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu, Laporte, Courtney House, Ruben Diaz, Saka, Henderson, Smith Rowe, Salah, Mbeumo, and Antonio. Happy with your
Where's Oba?
You didn't.
Did you say Oba?
You went, Uber, yeah. I think I've gone too Arsenal heavy.
It's here. It's here. It's on the screen. I went Ramsdale in goal. Don't scare me like that.
You didn't in the chat.
Oh, okay. It's here. Ramsdale in goal. Tomiyasu, Courtney House, Diaz and Laporte. A midfield of Saka, Jordan Henderson, Smith Rowe, Antonio and Aubameyang, and Mbeumo is up front, but he's not meant to be up front. He's meant to be swapped with Aubameyang, but it's fine. I won't get on to my people then.
Okay. Have you got mine?
Yeah, I know you got my guy that I should have put in there.
Have you got mine on the screen?
It's going to come up.
Okay,
don't you worry.
You can do the honours. I'm reading it out of mine in your conversations. I didn't know you had to do that.
Who did this graphic, guys? Laporte's supposed to be on the other side, or at least in the centre-back position.
Who did they spell last week with Rudiger?
Oh, yeah. Somebody's getting fired. Right, let's have a look at Abby's team. You've gone for Ramsdale in goal. Is this your team or is this mine?
My team.
Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu, Courtney House, Laporte as well, Cancelo, of course, Smith Rowe, Janelle, Salah, Saka, Jimenez, of course, and Antonio.
We've got very similar teams.
Love that.
I went way more heavy on Arsenal than you did.
Yeah, because I wanted to put in Jimenez and I also wanted to put in Mo Salah.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult to pick when I wanted to go Arsenal heavy.
I went Arsenal heavy because I thought you deserved it.
And I also wanted to put in Doucouré.
Yeah, Doucouré
so it was very difficult to pick that midfield this week.
It was. I felt like Saka and Smith Rowe
they just, of course,
really deserved that. I thought Salah deserved it also for the fact that he finally hit the 100 club. And There was some, and of course the guy from Brentford.
Yes.
Yes.
And Bremo?
Yes. No, I went Janler.
Oh yeah, of course, the goal scorer.
There could have been more, to be fair, from Brentford, but I thought it was.
It's very tricky when you've got so many good games on the weekend.
There was a lot of goals this weekend, a lot of games.
Yeah, a lot of good standout players.
Yes, there was, and a lot of good players as well.
Because it was hard for me. I was thinking, should I go Ramsdale or should I go Martinez? And I thought, you know what, I'm going Arsenal this week.
I was going either Jose Sarr for Wolves or Ramsdale, but I thought I'm not going to be petty. I'm just gonna. I thought Arsenal were great. So there was no reason for me to not put them in that.
I respect you for that.
I'm not that Spurs fan. I'll always be honest.
I respect you.
Any more super chats before we wrap?
Let's have a look. Chi says, Fred, Macic, Van der Beek, McTominay, Pereira, Pogba, all needs to find the best system to work with them.
His team of the week.
I know, I was thinking this is a lot of United players. I was thinking, not sure, they did lose. Pippa, do you think we can get top 4? Who is we? Are you an Arsenal fan? If yes, then no. If you're a United fan, then yeah, I think it's very possible you'll get top 4. Obviously, it does look a bit worrying now because of the couple of losses, but it's too early.
We're on week 6,
and there's too much quality in that squad for them to not get top 4. Everyone's relying on you, especially international fans around the world are expecting Ronaldo to lift the Premier League trophy.
Everyone's buying their Ronaldo shirts again in United strips.
Top of that table. Don One says respect to the Tottenham girl.
Thank
he
you.
normally gets on to you, Don One, Arsenal fan.
Thank you.
It's Abby Summers to you, darling.
Yes, yes. The Tottenham girl.
Mohammed says respect to Abby dressed in white. I know she's just very smart. I had to come in Arsenal today, couldn't resist. Darren says United are easily getting top 4. I think it might be United, Liverpool to win the league, Chelsea 2nd, United 3rd, City 4th. Okay. And the Fakir says worry about Nuno and not Oli. You worried about Oli?
No, I couldn't care less about Oli.
She's not worried about Oli.
I'm not worried about Nuno either at this point. Okay, that was the last super chat. Any more super chats?
No, well, I can read a few more if you want.
If you've got super chats.
There's no super chats at the moment, darling. There's none. There's lots of comments though saying respect for being balanced and fair, Abby, and that's from Nick.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, and I'll see you next Monday.
Yes.
Of course, where we'll be same time, same place.
Yeah.
And of course, make sure you tune in to the Premier League preview with myself and Flex, which should be out later this week. Have a great week, guys, and enjoy Champions League. Don't forget, we will be back tomorrow night. We are doing the PSG versus Manchester City game on the Robbie show. I'm hosting that one, so I think Parisi is with us and Steve as well. So make sure you tune in and enjoy Champions League football with us this week.
At least some of you can.
Bye.